Hey YouTube, it's me, Random Ross. So, today I am reading another creepypasta that I've written. It's an original one. It's called Paperface Perry, and I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. And if you want to like this video, then please like it. If you want to share, then please share. Also, follow me on Facebook. And if you want to see more from me, then hit that big red subscribe button. So, here we go. People should always have a hobby. It keeps your hands busy and your mind focused on something. Like when I was at school, I used to love writing for the school newspaper. It was April 2003. 4 weeks before, a pupil named Perry White went missing. He just disappeared. He was apparently last seen running into the woods. So I started writing up on an article. On this. He never had it easy at school. He was always bullied a lot by a group of friends, 3 boys, 3 girls. They were the cool kids at my school. I wanted to interview them, but they just didn't want to know. I guess they felt guilty for Perry running away. One teacher, who Perry really looked up to, was the school art teacher, Miss Keane. She was kind of the teacher that was nice and the girls looked up to and the boys fancied. In fact, I had a little bit of a thing for her. I asked her if she could have I asked her if I could have a moment of her time. She was happy to. I asked her about Perry White. She told me that he was gifted. A gifted young man who loved art and used to stay over after school to do extra artwork. He never had it easy at home. His mother was always working all the time, and his dad left him as a baby. She told me that he was very artistic in making paper-mache masks. He didn't really have any friends. He always was close to Miss Keane. She hoped that he would return home safely. I saw some drawings that he did. I asked Miss Keane what they were. She told me that they were the drawings that was of him wearing one of his many masks, and his friend, the tall man. The tall man had just a black suit, a red tie, and no face. Miss Keane let me have a look. He had tentacles. It was a drawing of the Slender Man. I always heard myths of the Slender Man. I couldn't get anything interesting for the article, so I just let it go. September 2003. A new school year. On the first day, a memorial service was held at the school. 6 friends, the friends who I knew that tormented Perry, had all committed suicide during the holidays a few days after they were brutally attacked by some unknown person or something, and that is still out there. Months went by and the trail went cold and no one was found. I resumed my school life. October 2014. I work for the local newspaper now, nothing too fancy. I got an invite to a school reunion on Facebook. I had to go to it, so I did. I had a good old catch up with some old faces and former students. One said to me, "Did I ever write that article?" I told him no, but it got me thinking maybe I should try and dig it up again. For my local newspaper, I tried to find something out. I tried looking for the families of the victims, but they all moved out of town years ago. I did find one person, Miss Keen's ex-partner. He told me he loved Miss Keen and she was very fond of her pupil, Perry. I asked him then, what happened to her? He told me that she's dead, that she had an affair with Perry. She begged him, saying if he still had any love for her, he won't report her. He agreed to it as long as she called off the affair with Perry. He never told anyone this until now, saying that Perry took the whole thing personally. He then asked me to leave. I couldn't find anything. This was just another dead end, so I did research trying to look into it all. I found in the newspaper just headlines saying in the summer of 2003 6 students were attacked. The police knew something that the press, they didn't want to know. I went to my local police station. I found the detective that led the investigations at the time. He was nice and took me to the evidence archives. He asked me when did I last eat. I thought, why he asked me that? He told me what he was about to show me I shouldn't see on a full stomach. I saw horrific photos of the victims, all mutilated and tortured. Thinking to myself, what kind of sick person does this to another? He told me that they were a group of friends, and that they were bullies, but they didn't deserve that. I even found notes from the scenes, all with questions written on them in the same handwriting, so they knew it was the same person. The ringleader's note said, "What is more precious to you, your cock or your balls?" On his girlfriend's note, it said, "What is more precious to you, your eyes or your face?" All 6 were forced to choose a way to be tortured. One was asked if their arms or legs were more precious, another their tongue or their fingers, and the other 2 their ears or their voice, their scalp or their back. No wonder these people took their own lives. Then I got thinking, if it was Perry or something, or someone he got to do it for him. I then found another photo of Miss Keane. Her note said, what's more precious to her, her breast or her face? She had both done to her. I then left the room. I calmed myself before heading home. That night, at midnight, I heard a knock on my door. I thought, who the hell would be calling at this time of the night? I went downstairs, and at the door I found, at the foot of the door, a letter. I opened the envelope and found photos. I looked at it, and I remember that day in September 2003, I saw Paperface. I saw Perry. How could I forget it? It all came back to me. I found Perry. He was wearing a papier-mâché mask he made. It was just painted white and stained in blood and with 2 eye holes to see through and a huge cut down the right eye hole. He also wore a blue hoodie and some jeans and shoes and black gloves, and had a black school bag. Around his shoulder was a school bag, and a craft knife in his left hand, covered in blood. I then remember him showing me a note saying, what is more precious to me, my life or the article? I then remember I told him my life. He then left his paper-made mask. He lifted his paper face mask and put his finger on his lips. He told me, shh, not to tell this story, and took my camera off me. And then I remember seeing him walk into the woods where the tall man, the slender man, was waiting for him, and then disappeared into the woods. And I think it was the tall man that made me forget now. Forget until now. I then snapped out of it my flashback, and then looked at the back of the photo. It was written and it said, I am Paperface Perry. I opened the door, dreading if he was behind the door, and he wasn't. I then went back to bed. The next day, I was on the bus going to work, and I got off the bus to go into work. I know I saw across the road, I saw something standing across with his mask on. I know he was looking right at me until he just disappeared. I know that he is still out there in the woods with the Slender Man. I know I will see him again. His name is Paperface Perry.